The facts matter.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday morning. It is October 9th, and this is a promised reading that many of you requested. It's the reading of the Zodiac Constitution as originally written by C.M. Bay. Now, just so that everyone's aware, before I start reading this, there may be places in here that I will mispronounce because they're spelled incorrectly. There are many, many errors that are within this document. It is a 6-page document. It's chock full of craziness. I also want to make mention that Taj Tariq Bey has added a front page to this, which is just basically a massive threat to all 50 states. I will try to locate that also and add that in at the end here, but let's go ahead and get started because many of you did request this. This is the Zodiac Constitution by C.M. Bay, and the receipt number of the copy that was sent to the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., where I have absolutely no idea whether it's still there or not. Many people have said that it is not, but I have not investigated that myself. Okay, here we go. Article 1. The 12 signs of the Zodiac, the code of mathematics, scaling from 0 to 9, and the science of geometry comprise the constitution of the living Moorish nation of North America, referred to as Negroes, who ruled the world and the 7 seas by the 12 signs of the Zodiac and the science of geometry. For 1196 years, to the Amazon Dutch-German Catholic priesthood fathers of the Revolution of 1789 and the sisterhood Manga Charta, which, by the way, many of you laugh and say, oh, is this Japanese anime? But in reality, the Magna Charta is actually an original spelling of the Magna Carta, just so that you are aware. Emancipation Proclamation, Union Society of White Supremacy in 1863, North America. The 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Society and also the non-judges of the Supreme Court were founded upon the Moorish nation's 12 signs of the Zodiac Constitution and mathematics, scaling from 0 to 9. Thus, without our Moorish Constitution, the Manga Charta, Emancipation Proclamation, Union Society of the myth of white supremacy definitely could have been found in 1863. Here we go. Article 2. Zodiac Constitution Birthrights of the Moorish American, the Bays and the L's. Since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States, Manga Charta, document of white supremacy, and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon our Moorish Zodiac 12 signs, mathematical constitution. The lawmakers have no jurisdiction over the free Moors, the Bays, and L's in the inherited land of the Moorish nation, namely, USA, Canada, Central and South America. The Moorish American nationality and their surnames, Bay and L, are their inherited birthrights without a legal due process of the lawmakers of the Union Society, USA. What our Moorish forefathers were, we are today without a doubt or contradiction, namely, Moorish. Article 3. Tax and military exemption for Moorish Americans, the Bays and L's. All right. This is a little hard to navigate, so bear with me, guys. Okay, the Moors, referred to as Negroes, definitely can never become members and citizens of the Union Society of the 48 states. Therefore, they cannot be forced or drafted into the Union USA Army or military service to fight for the Manga Charta Code of the white supremacy against themselves. The lawmakers of the 48 states Union order cannot force the Moors, the Bays, and Els to pay taxes because taxation without representation is a supreme violation of the Moorish Zodiac constitution, birthright of Islam. When the Union lawmakers denounce their Immortal Manga Charta Code and resort to the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, the Moors are compelled to pay taxes because everyone in the nation will be equally represented by it. There is no room in the science of Masonry, the Zodiac, for mystic god religious worship, race, color, ignorance, war, crime, slavery, and human injustice. Article 4. Adequate employment and protection for Moorish Americans. Every lawmaker, the heads of industry and business enterprise of the 50-state Union Order are obligated members and citizens of the Magna Charta Christian Church and Temple system of Christ the King of Jews, meaning jury over the wealth and culture of the living Moorish nation of North America. Therefore, by the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, the Moors, Bays, and Els can demand adequate employment, food, clothing, shelter, medical care, equal rights, respect, and protection from mob violence, rape, and injustices, otherwise without being obligated to the Union Church and religious system of the Order of Christ, the White Sun Idol God. All right, here we go with Article 5. Immortal Marriage License Code against the Zodiac Law of Nature. Truth cannot be altered and therefore needs no apology, nor doctrine, because it is the supreme mental doctor itself for the entire human family, woman and man. Number 1, thus the truth is the sisterhood Christian daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, established the marriage license states against code, established the marriage license states right code to prevent Moorish men and women from marrying into their Magna Charta Society of White Supremacy. As you see, the Magna is now being spelled properly. Number 2, did you ever stop to think that women and men are already married by the supreme law of nature and that marriage license is an active violation of the law of nature? The nature law union between women and men spells love and the reproduction of a child in which a marriage license plays no part in? Oh my. Okay. Let's see if I can get down here. Okay. And number 3. Definitely, there cannot be an illegitimate children offspring from women and men because women is supreme gate of creation of both male and female children by the law of nature, which spells Islam, or I, self, law, and master, the carpenter, and the grand architecture of the human family. Adam means the positive force in women and sons, responsible for evolution or the reproduction of children by the law of nature. The Pope, priests, and preacher and judges of the Christian society definitely cannot prove that their Adam and Eve had a marriage license. Did you ever stop to think that the marriage license code is an act of selling women and men back to themselves? The Union Magna Charta marriage license code unfortunately and unconsciously caused the white women to be cut off from the human family, the Moorish nation. In other words, the white women are supreme social slaves against their will and desire. This has caused them to carry in their mind and heart a secret sorrow and anger which causes their children to inherit a tendency of crime, hatred, insanity, and various other diseases. Supreme standard of the Zodiac marriage law culture. Here are the elements of the signs of the Zodiac and the women and men's opposite signs involving the first marriage of the Zodiac law of nature. No preacher and money and license and neither religion is necessary in the standard Zodiac marriage law. In harmony with nature, number 1, Aries is fire and Libra is air. Number 2, Taurus is earth and Scorpio is water. Number 3, Gemini is air and Sagittarius is fire. Number 4, Cancer is water and Capricorn is earth. Number 5, Leo is fire and Aquarius is air. Number 6, Virgo is earth and Pisces is water. The 1863 Union Bible story of Eve and Adam were founded upon the Moorish Zodiac 12 signs law, the negative and the positive forces of nature, female and male, in harmony with nature. Number 1, Aries is fire and Gemini is air. Number 2, Leo is fire and Libra is air. And number 3, Sagittarius is fire and Aquarius is air. Persons born under the opposite signs and the angle signs are in harmony with one another in every manner. Thus, first-hand knowledge of the sign under which you and your mate were born will guide your destiny in peace, progress, and happiness forever. Let us remember that this is... I have to change the page here, if it will let me, which it doesn't appear to want to let me. Give me a second. Oh boy. So I cannot change the page for whatever reason. So I will try to find it and get right back to you. Okay, so I apologize. I was able to find a secondary read of this that Taj Tariq has tweaked to his liking, apparently. It's very similar, so I'll go ahead and complete the reading of the actual document, and then I'll go back and I'll read the beginning for what Taj Tariq says about this. So let me start back where we were. Persons born under the opposite sign and the angle signs are in harmony with one another in every manner. Thus, first-hand knowledge of the sign under which you and your mate were born will guide your destiny in peace, progress, and happiness forever. Let us remember that this is not a theory. The zodiac is the absolute universal standard of marriage and human guidance. Women and men will know their duty toward one another and their children without being forced by a traditional code for the courtroom. All right, here we go. Article 6. The one and only universal moral law for unity, peace, and economic and social progress. The Moorish Zodiac Constitution is the only universal unchanged moral law for the human family, for unity, human equality, respect, peace, and economic and social progress. Therefore, every Moor, the Bays and L's, must be guided by this constitution. And book, Clock of Destiny, how convenient. Do that which is right by reason and have respect for the white lawmakers and citizens of the Magna Charta Union Society of the 50 States in order to demand respect from them. The white people of the Union are guided by their Magna Charta traditions and customs, and the Moos are guided by the Zodiac Constitution law. Interesting. I didn't know we had Moos in addition. Nevertheless, their customs and traditions, including themselves, must be respected by the Moors without submitting themselves to any of the Magna Charta customs. That which is termed the Christian law, is a rule of action recorded on paper and supported by authority and force. The zodiac the zodiac law of nature is recorded in the wisdom of women and men and supported by moral intelligence, the greatest laws, knowledge of zodiac masonry, as shown in the Moorish Constitution, and also in my book, Clock of Destiny, Volume 2. Let's see what I'm talking about here, guys. Will prevent a Moorish American, he or she, from indulging in crime. They then would not have to appear in the courtroom to stand trial. Should a Moorish American, now we have the Moos, the Moors, and the Moorish Americans, who has this Constitution and Book 1 and 2 indulge in crimes such as narcotics, robbery, forgery, prostitution, illegal whiskey or alcohol, illegal schemes, gambling, peace breaking, violence, and disrespect for the law of the city, country, state, and federal, they then have incriminated themselves and therefore will be penalized. This con situation, card and book, definitely does not protect criminals. Beware. The Clock of Destiny Moorish. Oh my. Yeah. Card of identification and constitution has been registered the Library of Congress, and signed by the THI author CMA Baya. A Moorish American cannot be convicted on false accusation frame up charges. The evidence against a Moorish American must be concrete proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. The Moorish nation of 150,000,000,1951 of the USA shall not be destroyed for lack of truth and knowledge of the law and constitution of the Moors. Article 7, the Moorish Americans' freedom and legal in the Christian Union courtroom. In the Christian, Union courtroom, the Moors cannot be forced to remove their red fez from their heads, nor can they be forced to raise their hand and make an eighth over the Christian Bible. Neither can Moors, the Bays, the L's employ white or Negro lawyers to represent them. The reason for this is that white people and their what does neo have to do with this? Slaves definitely cannot represent free Moorish Americans. Okay, so you guys just be aware that it is not important to the Moors to have a document that is so incredibly important that literally every single Moor should be following it. But there needs to be, there does not need to be proper spelling. There does not need to be proper grammar. There does not, it's crazy to me, but they're incredibly liberal, with what they allow to go on in their very important, almost biblical books. The Negro is the property of the Union slave holders, the how do I even say that? Moors must respect the court by saying, I affirm, period. Here the court has no jurisdiction over them, which automatically makes them qualified to defend themselves by the Zodiac Constitution law and their mathematical number 9. The number 9 corresponds with the letter used on the 9 months from conception to birth, which makes you yourself the great I am. The first and the highest law of self-protection and self-preservation in harmony with your Zodiac 12 signs unchanged constitution moral law of 360 degrees squared by your number 9. The Moorish Zodiac Constitution is referred to in Christian mythology as the Holy Quran or Al-Quran, meaning the earth, the moons, the sun, and the 7 planets, or the chronology zodiac record of the Moorish nation of the North Gate, North America. The name Mohammed, prophet, religions, gods, church. Temple and mosque were established by the Dutch Anglo-Saxon priesthood Franciscan fathers of North, who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam between 1789 and the Union of 1863. The Moors, the Bays, and the EIS must never attempt to teach or lecture in the Christian's institution, namely church, temple, mosque, school, and hall. Ms. is a violation of the Union Society Saints' Right Magna Charta Code of Fairy and Christ. The truth of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution law and moral human principles definitely conflicts with the Christian Union customs and doctrine of the Magna Charta. from every angle. Nor do not criticize the white people belief in the religion of their sun and women image, nor do not ever attempt to influence the white people to accept the oral truth and principles of your 12 sign zodiac constitutional law, because the Magna Charta is in phrase, I don't even understand what they mean by that. In phrase meaning agnate charta of white people's economic and social attraction only, which had its beginning in the colonies of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois in 1848 and 1854. If the lawmakers of the 50 Union States Society of North America should attempt to ignore the Moorish American Zodiac law and birthrights of this Constitution, it would be an period act of supreme violation of their own Magna Charta code. Okay, I'm going to stop here because what I just read to you is actually what's on the front page of what Mr. Taj Tariq Bey had put up there. So let me just say this, though. As I said, they're extremely liberal in whether or not they have proper grammar or spelling. For as much as they, claim to need to make their own language and do things like add triple E's and triple T's and take away IE's and the way that Pauline Ritchie does, for example, they're extremely liberal in the fact that such an important article is almost unreadable because there's simply so many errors in grammar and misspellings. It's unbelievable. But anyhow, you guys wanted me to go over this and read this, so I have now done that. And I'm sorry that it was very difficult to get through, but I will include the link to this in the description below, and you guys can take a look at it for yourself if you'd like to. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care, everyone.